Hello, Tony here, back on my channel once more on a Saturday slot no less, for what will be our next installment in our periodically recurring series, Combo Extender. So for the newcomers out there, you might be wondering, what is Combo Extender? Well, Combo Extender is an occasional Saturday series where I take a deck profile that I previously showcased and explore the combo potential that deck has. Not only going through older combos that I previously showcased in that deck profile and improving upon them, but also generating new combos off of different test hands as well as combos using cards that I didn't showcase in that deck profile to see the maximum potential that a deck has at its disposal. And for our second episode of Combo Extender, the deck profile that we're going to be revisiting once more will be the hottest one to come out of Ghosts from the Past in our Dragunity deck. And for good reason. Dragunity is such a powerful but complex deck that takes advantage of not only its own support, but powerful generic dragon support like Guard Dragons, Red MD, and Amorphages. And as a result, that is a deck that's impacted not only by the tech choices that you make, but among the powerful paths that you can take to produce your board. Something that I hope to showcase as I get through this combo video. Anyway, the cards are set up, the deck is ready, let us begin. So starting things off, we're going to be revisiting the combo test hand that I started with in my deck profile that consisted of one Legatus, one Darkworm, another Legatus, a Mistletoe, as well as a Phalanx. See, that combo, while powerful, was slightly done incorrectly, and while the board is still possible with these available cards, I figured that I at least showcase the proper way to do it, to showcase just how complex and tight the deck is when executing your combos. So the way that this combo is going to work very similar like before. I'm going to start off by normal summoning the Phalanx, and since I control the Phalanx, I'll special summon the Legatus. I'm then going to tribute the Phalanx to special summon out my Mistletoe to re-equip my Phalanx and then special summon the Phalanx once more. From there, I'm then going to synchro summon using the Phalanx and the Legatus to summon out my Gay Durg, and then use Gay Durg's effect to add a Remus to my hand before then sending the Darkworm from my hand to the graveyard. From there, I'm once again going to overlay both my Dragunity Gay Durg as well as my Mistletoe to summon out my Hieratic Dragon of Attune, of which I'll then detach a material from my Attune to special summon one dragon from my deck, that being my Red MD. From there, Red MD will then activate to bring back the Gay Durg once more, and then I'll use Gay Durg's effect once again, this time to add a Zephyros, and then send the Zephyros from my hand to the graveyard. From there, I'm then going to link summon using the Hieratic Dragon of Attune as well as the Red MD to summon out my Romulus once again, with Romulus triggering then to search for my Divine Lance. From there, I'm then going to activate the Remus effect, sending it to the graveyard to add my Dragon Ravine, and then activate the Dragon Ravine, sending the Legatus in my hand to the graveyard to send a Koos from my deck to the graveyard. From there, I'm then going to activate the Divine Lance and use Divine Lance's effect to equip a Koos to it and then special summon the Koos onto the field. Then I'm going to bounce back my Lance to special summon the Zephyros once again from my graveyard. I'm then going to synchro summon using the Zephyros and the Koos to summon out my Barca. This time, however, it's going to be summoned to this zone. This will be relevant due to the fact that thanks to Guard Dragons, you do have to be a little wary about where you put your monsters. Anyway, Barca is going to be summoned, and it's going to re-equip from my graveyard two Kooses from my graveyard, a Mistletoe in the graveyard, as well as the Phalanx. From there, I'm then going to special summon one of the Kooses and then immediately link it away to summon out my Guard Dragon Pisty to the furthest rightmost zone, before then link summon using the Gay Durg as well as the Romulus to summon out my Triple Burst Dragon. Now that Triple Burst Dragon and LP are pointing to the same location, I'll activate Triple Burst effect to summon out a dragon from my deck, of which I'll summon out my Levitine. Levitine upon summon will then trigger, allow me to once again re-equip the Koos from my graveyard onto it, of which I'll then special summon to this zone. From there, this is the mistake I made. See, when I initially linked these monsters away, I assumed that you can make Darksteel off of just any two monsters. In fact, it has to be two monsters of the same type and attribute, which these are, but the Levitine is not. So instead, we're going to link summon using those two to summon out our Darksteel in this zone, and then convert the Koos into our Pisty, now in this zone. And see, this was where the mistake was made last time. When I special summoned the Bark, I special summoned it here, which would have blocked out the Pisty zone. But now, in this specific situation, with this zone free, I can then activate Pisty's effect to bring back one dragon from my graveyard, of which I'll then once again bring back the Gay Durg, before then link summoning using the Levitine as well as the Red MD to summon out my spheres here. From there, I'm then going to special summon out a Koos from my graveyard, of which I'll then link using the Pisty and the Koos to summon out my Buster Whelp. Buster Whelp then allowing me to send the Destruction Sword from my deck to the graveyard, before then activating Gaydurg's effect to add the Mist Valley Rock, to send the Mist Valley Rock, to special summon the Mist Valley Rock, to then synchro summon with the Gaydurg and the Mist Valley Rock to summon out our Boardload Savage Dragon. Boardload Savage Dragon will then trigger, allowing me to once again re-equip the Dark Steel and gain 4 counters. Finally, from there, I'm then going to special summon out the Phalanx before then banishing the Barca with the Mistletoe equip to once again bring back my Levitine, which Levitine upon being special summoned will re-equip the Koos to then special summon the Koos. I will then once again synchro summon using the Levitine as well as the Phalanx to summon out our Adrena Bear, before then re-equipping the Lance once more to our Koos, and then banishing the Koos equipped with a Dragunity Lance to once again summon out our Levitine once again and equip the Buster Sword for the same combo end board that we probably should have made. Now moving on to a real test hand, the hand that we're going to be working with first off is going to include 1 Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, 1 Remus, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Dragunity Glow, and 1 Dragon Ravine. Okay, so compared to the last hand, this is obviously a much better hand. No, this is actually an amazing hand. This is one of those hands that you can definitely know you can build a full board with. The fact that you open the Glow means that you can obviously search the Oubliette with the Remus Romulus effect, and with Dragon Ravine, you have anything as possible. This combined with 2 Reborn cards, you have a lot at your disposal. So let's see what we can do with this. I'm going to start off by activating the Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon's effect in hand to add a Dark Worm from my deck to my hand. Now, Dark Worm in our last combo was kind of a brick, but in this combo, this might actually be a huge playmaker. I'm then going to activate the Dragon Ravine and then use Dragon Ravine's effect, sending that Dark Worm I just searched to add a Senatus from my deck to my hand. Now, since I control no monsters, I can then activate Dark Worm's effect in grave to then bring it back onto the field in the rightmost zone. I'm then going to normal summon out the Senatus and then use Senatus' effect, sending the Remus from my hand to the graveyard to then equip a Koos from my deck onto Senatus, of which I'll then special summon and then me synchro summon with the Senatus to summon out my first synchro, the all-famous Gaydurg. I'll then use Gaydurg's effect and I'm going to add a Mist Valley Baby Rock from my deck to my hand, and then send the same Baby Rock from my hand to the graveyard to special summon that Baby Rock. Now, in this case, I can make a Romulus with these 2 monsters, but since we do have the Reborn, we can do an extra step of protection. I'm going to synchro summon with a Gaydurg as well as the Rock to summon out a Crystal Wing so that our board is a little more hand trap proof. From there, I'm then going to activate the Monster Reborn to bring back the Gaydurg once again, and then use Gaydurg's effect once more, this time to add the Zephyros that is important for a majority of our combos, and then send it to the graveyard. From there, I'm then going to activate the Dragunity Glow now, using Dragunity Glow to add a Mistletoe from my deck to my hand, of which I'll then tribute summon, or tribute special, the Mistletoe by tributing the Gaydurg, and then use Mistletoe's effect to re-equip the Gaydurg onto it. Then I'm going to banish the Glow from my graveyard and then special summon the Gaydurg that is equipped to my Mistletoe, and then use Gaydurg's effect once again. This time, I'm going to send another Dragunity Tuner from my deck to the graveyard by adding it and then sending it from my hand to the graveyard. Then I'm going to overlay the Mistletoe and the Gaydurg now to summon out a Hieratic Dragon of a Tomb using those monsters, before then detaching a material from this Tomb to special summon out a Levitine directly from my deck. Now once Levitine hits the field, I'll use Levitine's effect now to equip a Koos onto it and then special summon the Koos. Finally then, I'll bounce back the Dragon Ravine to my hand to special summon out the Zephyros. From there, I'm then going to link summon, using the Levitine as well as the Hieratic Dragon of the Tomb, both as dragons, to summon out my Romulus. Romulus upon summon will trigger to search for a Dragunity spell or trap card, of which I will then finally add the Dragunity Oubliette from my deck to my hand. Then, since I have a Dark Worm here, I'm going to treat the Dark Worm as a level 4 or lower dragon, which I would link summon to summon out my Guard Dragon Pisty to the rightmost zone. Now, in this specific situation, now we gotta make the triple burst. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to synchro summon using the Zephyros as well as the Koos, treating it as a level 4 to summon out our Barca. Barca's effect will then activate once more, of which I'll then equip a Koos, a Phalanx, and a Mistletoe onto it. I'm then going to special summon out the Koos and then link with the Romulus and the Koos to summon out, once again, you know where this is going, our Triple Burst Dragon. Once again, Triple Burst and LP point to the same location. I'm going to activate the LP's effect to special summon a dragon from my deck, of which I'll summon out our Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. I'll then use Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon's effect to once again bring back the Levitine from our graveyard. Levitine will then trigger to equip a Koos once again. Now here's the unique thing. In our last combo, we couldn't link away with the Levitine because it was a different type from the Triple Burst to make Darksteel. But in this case, Red MD is the same Dark Dragon type as our Triple Burst, which we can then use to link summon with those two monsters to summon our Darksteel this way instead. Now this is why this will be relevant. From there, we're going to special summon out the Koos equipped to our Levitine and then link it away now to summon out our Pisty before then linking away the Darksteel and the LP to summon out our Destruction Sword. Now our Buster Sword will then trigger, allowing us to send the Buster Whelp from our deck to the graveyard. And once again, our Buster Whelp and our Pisty point to the same location, which means we can activate Pisty's effect in grave to bring back the Guidurg once more. From there, we're then going to link summon using the Pisty and the Buster Whelp to summon out our Hieratic Dragon Seals for that one disruption. And without Pisty, now the Guidurg can activate its effect to once again add another Baby Rock from our hand, to then send it, to then special summon it, to then synchro summon with the Guidurg to summon out our Borreload Savage Dragon. Borreload Savage Dragon will then trigger, allowing us to equip the Darksteel that's in our graveyard for 4 counters of negation and 1400 extra attack. Finally, from there, we'll special summon the remaining Phalanx equipped to our Barca, and then synchro summon with the Levitine and the Phalanx to summon out our Dragunity Adreta Bear. And finally, we'll then banish the Barca with a Mistletoe equipped to re-summon out our Levitine, to then use Levitine's effect to equip our Buster Sword. We're then going to set the Oubliette and then pass our turn to our opponent. So for all accounts and purposes, this is the full board. This is every negate that you could possibly summon out from your X deck, as well as every negate that you could search from your main deck, put onto the field to prevent your opponent from doing as much as possible. Let's do a head count here. Starting off, we have the Crystal Wing, which we made rather early to prevent our opponent from doing the Beer plays after the point. From there, we have the Adreta Bear, which also acts as a monster effect negation, but it banishes the monster, preventing floating effects. Going from there, we then have the Levitine, which is equipped to the Buster Whelp, locking our opponent out of the X deck. If our opponent attempts to out the Buster Lock by summoning something like an Alpha, which can actually out the Levitine, we have the Hieratic Spheres to spin it back into the deck. If our opponent attempts to do something like Lightning Storm or Evenly Match, we have the Borreload Savage Dragon. And if our opponent attempts to do something like Dark More or Droplets, sending a monster to prevent any of these negates from responding, we at least have the Oubliette to negate that as well, thus preventing anything but a raw sphere mode from outing this board. However, what if I told you in the off chance that our opponent opens something like, I don't know, double Evenly Match or double Dark World or more, that this board can also produce a different kind of spell negation if we were playing something like the Amorphages? Let's find out. Now, suppose in this alternative universe, we open that exact same 5-card hand consisting of 1 Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, 1 Dragunity Glow, 1 Dragon Ravine, 1 Remus, and 1 Monster Reborn. But in this alternative universe, we are also playing the Amorphage package consisting of 1 Amorphage Goliath and 1 Amorphage Letri. What do you think we can do with those cards? Well, let's find out. The combo is going to begin the same. We're going to activate the Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon to add a Dark Worm from our deck to our hand. From there, we're then going to activate the Dragon Ravine to send that Dark Worm from our hand to the graveyard to add a level 4 Dragunity monster in our Senatus. Since I control no monsters, the Dark Worm will come back, but now it's going to go into the middle zone where this will be relevant. From there, I'm going to normal summon the Senatus and once again discard the Remus to equip a Dragunity tuner to it in our Dragunity Koos, of which we will then special summon and synchro summon with the Senatus to summon out our Dragunity Knight Guidurg. From there, we're going to activate Guidurg's effect, and in this case, we're going to send and add a Mist Valley Baby Rock to send it to special summon. And once again, we're going to synchro summon with the Guidurg and the Baby Rock to once again synchro summon out our Crystal Wing for hand trap protection. From there, we'll again activate the Monster Reborn to bring back the Guidurg and use Guidurg's effect once more to send the Zephyros from our deck to the graveyard. before then activating the Dragunity Glow to add our Armor Mistletoe from our deck to our hand, of which we will then tribute the Gyderk to special summon the Mistletoe, to re-equip the Gyderk, to banish the Glow to special summon the Gyderk, and use Gyderk's effect another time. This time to send a Phalanx from our deck to the graveyard. From there, we're then going to overlay both the Gyderk and the Mistletoe to once again summon out our Hieratic King Atomb, before then detaching a material from said Atomb to special summon a dragon from our deck, of which we will special summon out our Dragunity Levitine. Levitine will then equip a dragon monster from our graveyard, of which will re-equip the Koos to special summon the Koos once more. From there, I'm then going to link away the Hieratic Atomb as well as Levitine to summon out our Romulus. Now, Romulus previously was meant to search for our Dragunity Oubliette, but in this combo, we're not going to do that. But for the sake of it, let's say I still search Oubliette anyway. From there, I'm then going to bounce back the Dragon Ravine to special summon out the Zephyros in my graveyard before reactivating the Dragon Ravine, this time to send the Dragunity Oubliette from my hand to the graveyard to search any Dragunity monster, let's say for another Remus. From there, I'm then going to link away the Dark Worm here to summon out, instead of an Alpi, a Guard Dragon Pisty. And then, to get out the Triple Burst, I'm then going to Synchro Summon using the Zephyros and the Koos to summon out my Barca, now in this zone. Barca will once again trigger, equipping up to 3 dragons from my graveyard, equipping the Koos, the Mistletoe, and the Phalanx. I'm then going to special summon the Koos from the equip zone, and then link it away alongside the Romulus to summon out our Triple Burst Dragon. Now, Triple Burst and Pisty are pointed to the same zone, so I'll activate Pisty's effect now to bring back the Gyderk from our graveyard. From there, I'm then going to link away the Pisty alongside the Triple Burst to summon out our Darksteel in this zone. From there, I'm then going to special summon out the Phalanx before then activating the effect of Gyderk. Now, in this case, I could send another tuner, but what I'm actually going to add instead is I'm going to add the Amorphage Lechery from my deck and then send the Remus from my hand to the graveyard. From there, I'm then going to perform a Synchro Summon using the Phalanx and the Gyderk to summon out our Borreload Savage Dragon, with our Savage Dragon then equipping from the graveyard a Triple Burst and gaining 3 counters. I'm then going to summon back the Remus from my graveyard since I control the Barca, and then link away the Remus to summon out our Pisty here. From there, then I'm going to banish the Barca, which is equipped to the Mistletoe, to once again bring back the Levitine in my graveyard, which will then once again re-equip a Phalanx, of which I'll then special summon and then Synchro Summon with the Levitine to summon out our final negate in our Adrita Bear. Finally, I'm going to activate the Lechery in the Pendulum Scale before then activating the effect of my Alpi, which is now pointing to the same zone that my Darksteel is, to summon out an Amorphage Goliath from my deck, of which I'll then pass my turn to my opponent. Now, compared to our previous end board, there are obviously a few variational differences, the most notable being that we didn't end up on a Heavenly Spheres, nor did we end up on a Dragunity Oubliette. In trade for that though, we end up with an Amorphage Goliath on field as well as an Amorphage Lechery in our Pendulum Scale. So let's weigh the pros and cons. Starting off with the negates, we end up with the same number of negates as our previous board, consisting of 1 Crystal Wing, 1 Adrita Bear, as well as 1 Savage Dragon, albeit this Savage Dragon has 1 less negate in the long run. Without the Heavenly Spheres, this board is a little more susceptible to Alpha, the Master of Beasts, since it could just run over our Goliath now unimpeded, and without the Oubliette, our board is a little more weaker to evenly matched. However, in trade for that, we have an Amorphage Goliath on field with 50 more attack for a stronger Buster Lock, as well as a Lechery in our Pendulum Scale, negating all spells our opponent controls, thus preventing them from outing this board with double Dark Ruler or double Droplets. And while we did have to give up the Heavenly Spheres, since we kept the Darksteel on field, we do have a higher damage output for an OTK on the following turn. And even though the Goliath locks both players out of the X deck, on the following turn we can always activate the effect of our Lechery to tribute this Goliath to then negate the Buster Lock to then build our board once again and go for the OTK. Moving on to our third and final test hand, the hand that we're going to be working with is going to consist of 1 Mist Valley Baby Rock, 1 Dark Ruler No More, 1 Dragunity Armor Mistletoe, 1 Dragon Ravine, and 1 Glow. Alright, now compared to the first hand that we had worked with, this hand is still definitely an improvement, but compared to the godsend that was our second hand, this is a downgrade. While we still open the Dragon Ravine and the Dragunity Glow that affords us a lot of plays, we have two imperfections in the Mist Valley Baby Rock, which we can't use until we access Guy Dirk, and the Dark Ruler No More, which is inherently dead, going first. And the fact that we open an Armor Mistletoe with the Glow means that the Armor Mistletoe is extremely extra. However, I still think we can build a rather impressive board. So starting off, we're going to activate that Dragon Ravine and use Dragon Ravine's effect to send that Dark Ruler No More from our hand to the graveyard to add a level 4 or lower Dragoon monster from our deck to the hand. That being our Senatus. We'll normal summon out that Senatus and then use Senatus effect sending the Dragunity Glow from our hand to the graveyard to equip a Dragunity Dragon Tuner directly from our deck onto it, of which we will equip our Dragunity Koos. Koos, while equipped, will then special summon itself to the field before then synchro summoning with the Senatus to special summon out the first of our synchros, the much needed Guy Dirk. We'll activate Guy Dirk's effect to add a level 4 or lower dragon or winged beast monster from our deck to the hand, of which we will add our Remus, and then send a level 4 or lower dragon or winged beast monster from our hands to the graveyard, of which we'll send the Mist Valley Baby Rock, which will then special summon itself to the field. Now, in most cases, I would have to make a Romulus to search into the Glow to get into the Mistletoe, but since we open it, we can directly just tribute the Guy Dirk to special summon the Mistletoe, and then Mistletoe's effect will equip the Guy Dirk once more. Then we'll banish the Glow in our graveyard to special summon out that Guy Dirk, and once Guy Dirk hits the field, we can use its effect once again, this time to add a Winged Beast monster in our Zephyros the Elite from our deck to our hand, and then send that Zephyros to the graveyard. From there, we'll directly overlay the Mistletoe and the Guy Dirk together to summon out our Hieratic Dragon of a Tomb, of which we'll then detach a material from that tomb to summon a dragon monster from our deck to the field, of which will summon out our Armor Levitine. Once Levitine is special summoned, it will then equip a dragon from our graveyard, equipping the Koos, which can then special summon itself to the field. From there, I'm then going to link away the Tomb as well as the Baby Rock, both as a dragon and a winged beast, to summon out our Dragunity Knight Romulus effect on summon, allowing us to add a Dragunity spell trap. Now, since I already opened the Glow, we can instead add the Oubliette for our negation as well. From there, we're then going to bounce back the Dragon Ravine to special summon back the Zephyros the Elite, before then reactivating the Dragon Ravine and then sending the Remus from our hand to the graveyard to send a dragon monster from our deck to the graveyard, of which we will send a Phalanx. From there, I'm then going to synchro summon, using the Zephyros and the Koos to summon out our Barca. Barca, upon being summoned, will equip any Dragunity dragons from our graveyard, being our Koos, our Phalanx, and our Mistletoe. We'll then special summon the Koos back onto the field, and then immediately link it away to summon out our Guard Dragon Pisty, or Alpi. Then, we're going to link away the Levitine and the Romulus, both as dragons, to summon out our Triple Burst Dragon. With Triple Burst and Alpi now pointing to the same zone, we can then activate Alpi's effect to summon out another dragon from our deck, of which we will summon out our Red MD. Red MD upon summon will then activate its effect to special summon back the Levitine, with Levitine once again re-equipping the Koos, and Koos special summoning itself to the field, to which I will then synchro summon with the Levitine as a level 2 to summon out our first negate in our Dragunity Knight Adrita Bear. From there, Red MD is a Dark Dragon and so is Triple Burst, so we'll link those away to summon out a Darksteel to this zone, before then special summoning the Phalanx and then linking away the Phalanx to summon out our Guard Dragon Pisty. From there, I'll then link away the Darksteel as well as the Alpi to summon out our Protector Whelp, with Protector Whelp's effect now allowing to send a Destruction Sword from our deck to the graveyard, being our Buster Sword. Now, our Protector Whelp and Pisty point to the same zone, so we'll activate Pisty's effect now to summon out a dragon from our graveyard, of which we will summon out back to the field our Guy Dirk. We're then going to link away the Protector Whelp and the Pisty to summon out our Hieratic Heavenly Spheres, before then activating the effect of our Guy Dirk to add another Winged Beast in our Baby Rock from our deck to the hand, sending it to the graveyard to special summon it back onto the field, to then synchro summon with our Guy Dirk to summon out our Boarload Savage Dragon, with Boarload Savage Dragon then triggering on summon to equip the Darksteel to gain 4 counters. Finally, we'll banish the Barca, equipped with the Mistletoe, to once again bring back the Levitine sitting in our graveyard, which will then, upon summon, re-equip a dragon from the graveyard, of which we will equip our Buster Sword. We'll then set the Oubliette, and then pass our turn to our opponent. Let's do a quick head count here. Starting off with the negates, we have the 1 Dragunity Knight Arita Bear for our monster negate. We have a Boarload Savage Dragon equipped with Darksteel for 4 counters in Omni negate. We have the Buster Lock in our Levitine equipped to the Buster Sword, as well as the Hieratic Dragon Spheres to bounce a monster. And on top of that, we have the Dragunity Knight Oubliette to out any Dark Lord No More or Droplets or any other spell that may be activated that our opponent can attempt to use. And if you really think about it, that's rather par for the course. Compared to the 3 hands that we've opened, this hand was definitely better than the first hand that we opened, and as a result of that, we ended up with the additional negate in the Oubliette. However, the opening hand was still worse than our godsend of a second hand, and as a result of that, we couldn't quite generate enough resources to summon out that remaining Crystal Wing for the full negate. Or could we? See, one of the things I love about Dragunity is how complex the combos can be and how impactful your skillful play is to generating those boards. If I chose to activate a card effect earlier, or chose to activate a card effect later, or choosing to summon out a monster at a certain stage, those choices impact the board that I can end up with and produce different boards of varying power. With the opening hand that I had earlier, I was able to end up with a board of this many negates. However, I'm pretty sure with that same opening hand, if I chose to play my cards differently, I can also end up with a board consisting of these things, but also a Crystal Wing as well for the full negation board. So let's go back to that opening hand once again and see what we can do better. Going back to that same opening hand consisting of 1 Dark Ruler No More, 1 Dragon Ravine, 1 Baby Rock, 1 Glow, and 1 Mistletoe, let's see what we can do better to produce a bigger board. We're going to start things off the same way by activating that Dragon Ravine to send the Dark Ruler No More from our hand to the graveyard to add a level 4 Dragunity monster in our Senatus. Now, instead of sending the Glow directly for our Senatus effect, we're actually going to activate the Glow this time to add a Dragunity Armagay Levitine from our deck to the hand, before then normal summoning the Senatus and sending the Levitine from our hand to the graveyard to equip the Koos onto it to then special the Koos and then synchro summon to summon out our Dragunity Knight Gaidurg. We're then going to activate Gaidurg's effect, but instead of adding a Remus, we're actually going to add a Phalanx to our hand and send the Baby Rock to special the Baby Rock. From there, things proceed like routine. We're going to tribute the Gaidurg to special summon out the Mistletoe, to equip the Gaidurg to then banish the Glow in our graveyard to special summon out that Gaidurg, before then activating Gaidurg's effect once again to add the Zephyros and send it to the graveyard. We're then going to overlay both the Gaidurg and the Mistletoe once more to summon out a Hieratic Dragon of a Tomb, and we're going to detach a material from that to once again summon out a dragon from our deck. And usually we would summon out Levitine, but since Levitine is now in the graveyard, we're actually going to summon out our Red MD from the graveyard instead. We'll activate Red MD's effect that was summoned from the deck to summon back the Levitine from our graveyard, which will re-equip the Koos, and then special summon the Koos onto the field by its own effect. From there, I'm then going to link away the Hieratic Dragon of a Tomb alongside the Baby Rock as a dragon and a winged beast to summon out my Romulus. Romulus now is going to search for a Dragunity spell or trap card, of which we will once again add our Dragunity Oubliette. From there, I'm then going to bounce back the Dragon Ravine to special summon out the Zephyros, and then we're going to reactivate the Dragon Ravine and use Dragon Ravine's effect, sending that Phalanx from my hand to the graveyard, but instead of sending a dragon from our deck to the graveyard, we're actually going to add a Legatus instead. From there, I'm then going to synchro summon using the Zephyros and the Koos to summon out our Barca, of which Barca will then equip the Koos, the Phalanx, as well as the Mistletoe in our graveyard. We're then going to special summon out the Koos and then link away the Koos immediately to once again summon out our favorite Guard Dragon in Guard Dragon LP. From there, I'm then going to link away the Red MD alongside the Remus, or the Romulus, to summon out our Triple Burst to ensure that we now have 2 arrows pointing on to this zone for us to activate LP's effect to once again summon out a dragon from our deck. But instead of summoning out a big dragon, we're actually going to summon out a Remus from our deck this time. Why? Because we can immediately link away this Remus to then summon out the next Guard Dragon and our Guard Dragon Pisty, before then linking away these 2 monsters to summon out our Protector Whelp. Protector Whelp will then trigger upon being summoned, allowing me to send a dragon from my deck to the graveyard, or a Buster Sword Dragon from our deck to the graveyard. From there, Protector Whelp and Pissy are now pointing to the same zone, so once again I'll activate the effect of Pissy to bring back the Gaidurg from our graveyard, before then linking away the Protector Whelp alongside the Pissy to summon out our Disruption in our Heavenly Spheres. From there, we're then going to special summon out the Phalanx before then special summoning out the Legatus from our hand since we control a Dragunity monster, and then synchro summoning with these 2 monsters to summon out a synchro that hasn't made an appearance yet in any of our combos, the Dragunity Knight Vajrayana. Vajrayana will then re-equip the Phalanx, of which I will then special summon the Phalanx, and then I'll synchro summon with those 2 monsters to summon out our Crystal Wing. From there, I'm going to activate the effect of our Guy Derek to once again add another Baby Rock from our deck to the hand to send to the graveyard to special summon that Baby Rock, and then synchro summon with the Guy Derek once more to summon out our Borreload Savage Dragon. Savage Dragon will then trigger, allowing me to then re-equip the triple burst in our graveyard for 3 counters. Now we're not done there. With the Remus that's now sitting in our graveyard that we summoned off of our LP, we're then going to special summon back that Remus and then synchro summon using it and the Arma Leviatine to summon out our final negation in our Dread-a-Bear, before then banishing the Barca equipped with the Mistletoe to resummon back the Leviatine once more, and Leviatine will then once again trigger to equip our Buster Lock online. And then finally, we're going to set the Oubliette and pass our turn to our opponent, now using the same hand to create full negation board. And that's going to do it for this episode of Combo Extender. Honestly, I feel like I've only skimmed the surface at what Dragunity can do today. With so many powerful generic Dragon support cards and so many powerful Dragon X deck monsters, I feel like this deck can do so much more that I haven't discovered yet, ranging from potentially FTKs to summoning out iconic synchro monsters en masse. And while I'd love to explore these things, for the sake of not having a 15-minute video, I think I'll leave it up to you guys to discover that. Regardless though, Dragunity is a deck that has powerful but complex combos that are dictated by just every choice you make and every tech card that you play. And as a result of that, is a deck that punishes you for suboptimal play but rewards you greatly for playing optimally. Something that might be difficult for a lot of players but can be very gratifying once they figure it out. And in the right hands, I think can lead to some very promising results in the current metagame. Anyway though, my name is Tony Yang. This has been Combo Extender with Dragunity. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.